crazy dochi hole. That doesn't sound right, but the word isn't coming to my head. But looked her up on YouTube, went into her personal account, and found videos from when she got fired from her job. And she said that she's just going to start going into like labels and asking them if they're hiring for interns. So crazy. And look at her now, winning a Grammy. Dochi, if you're watching this, I'm a fan. I love your album. I think you're amazing. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Lavette. I just realized looking at my last video that I never really explained what ETCHED GROCERY CART is. So I'd like to take the time to do that really quick. When I was looking for a name for my podcast, the one prominent theme that really stuck out to me in like probably the entirety of my digital footprint is food. And I wanted to tie in my love for food with my love for learning new things and talking and meeting new people. It's called Grocery Cart because obviously when one is shopping at a grocery store, they're putting like an assortment of things inside of the cart. In this case, it would be an assortment of topics. To tie in that food element, my special guests will be bringing in a snack and vice versa. And then as for the word etched, I was leaning for like something more metaphorical. And I just want these things that I learn and talk about with you all to be very memorable. With that being said, it is that time of the year. It's Valentine's Day. Woo! So many things to look forward to in terms of Valentine's Day. I never personally cared about Valentine's Day growing up, even when I was single. But I've kind of come to really love it. I don't know if like living in New York City kind of helped change that, but just like seeing how cute people are with their bouquet of flowers. I'm super excited to bring in my special guest who's just in time for Valentine's Day. He's an amazing musician, sometimes comedic, but I would argue that I'm funnier. And he's the best travel buddy. And he knows how to make a really good burger. Please welcome Amaury. Yay!
Alice.
Okay. This is Amaury, everyone. For the sake of love, we brought our favorite snacks that we love so much. Amaury can do a haul. We love Nutella biscuits. These are so good. Oh.
Is that for me?
I think the prices went down for this one.
Yeah.
I think last time it was
like $13.
It was $13. Now it's $9, but the eggs went up to $10. So what's up with that?
And we got Starburst.
We got Starburst because I love Starburst so much. Mari knows how much I love Starburst. And Gushers.
We got Gushers.
I'm a gummies girl, as you can tell if you couldn't already.
So many gummies.
Amaury, how do you feel about being my first guest?
Wow, it's such an honor. Patty, where are you going? Ay. It's such an honor to be here. The first guest. It feels amazing.
It's very nice to have you in
Thank
our
you
home.
for having me.
I mean, we're going to talk about how we met. I think we should. Do you want to start? Do you want to tell your side of the story? Or I'll tell my side of the story.
I'll talk about the way we met. And then after a while, we started dating. So the way we met is that I was a student of her dad, who was a tennis coach. And so during the summer, his dad would have like practices, and then she would play with us high schoolers. And I just remember being like, wow, she's like better than anyone here. You would just beat everyone.
Alluding to my professional tennis career.
Yeah, and then so that's how we met. Like we wouldn't really talk. It was just like, hey, what's up? And because you were very quiet while you were playing tennis. And then the next year, when you came into high school, during the summer of that year, you were about to be a freshman and I was about to be a junior. And that's when we started like talking like friends. Because I remember you would play music for everyone.
No, tell them the real story.
What? That's the real story.
Okay, we'll let him finish.
Okay, and then during the summer, you would play music. And then I remember you would play like all the 2010s.
I'd play Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, you play Arctic Monkeys and what else? All that like indie rock kind of stuff. and then I remember specifically one day being like, "Who's playing this? All of these jams." And then she was like, "Me."
No, but I was annoying though. I didn't really say that it was me. I would just like be like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing the music."
Then we started talking, and I would just be like, "Oh, so you like this band? And have you listened to this?"
I thought
band?
Amaury was super hardcore, and I also went through like a, how would you describe? I was listening to like Bring Me the Horizon. I thought he was super hardcore just because he was like the only alternative person in the school. So I was like, I'm going to impress him by showing him just how hardcore I can be too. So I gave him like a paper with like different types of artists, kind of like a playlist, but just like a paper. And I told him to listen to them.
Oh, yeah.
But they were all like screamo bands.
Yeah. Because I was into like, I remember being like, I want to dress punk rock. But I think you thought I was like emo, screamo kind of thing.
Yeah. I liked that.
But I was into the punk rock, which I guess it's different, but not really. But anyway.
You're not saying really everything.
What am I missing?
The reason why we started talking is because he wanted to get with one of my friends.
Oh.
And so I was.
Well, that's funny because all of my friends liked you.
Yes.
And that's another story. But yeah, let's start with that.
And he wanted. I was like kind of like basically his wing woman. And so, yeah, he wanted to get with one of my friends, and I was kind of helping him. But then during that transition or during that process, I started liking him.
And then and then I started liking your friend. And then but she liked some other guy. And I was in denial. I was like, no,
another alternative guy.
Because Levette would tell me, "No, she likes you, yeah."
I was just dumb.
I was
just bored and stirring things for the plot.
Yeah, and then she would be like, you should do this for her and this and that. And I was like, I don't know. She already seems like she likes someone. So yeah, and then I was just making a fool of myself.
Amari's friends like me, and then that ended up being a whole thing too.
Yeah, because my two best friends from tennis, they liked her at the same time. Both of them were insane at the end of the day, but one of them
showed up to his house unannounced and was like, "Are you talking to the vet?"
Yeah, and then I hadn't slept that night, and I was so tired. And then he since I didn't think he was crazy, I let him in, and he was talking to me, and I was like kind of falling asleep, but he was just staring at me. He was like, "Are you talking to Levette?"
He's really scary. Yeah.
And then he would stare at me, and I was like, "All right, dude, I gotta go to sleep." And then he was like being so weird about it. Yeah, and then the other guy, D word. That was his name. It started with D. I was friends with D word longer, even after high school. But then I realized that he was also insane.
And now we don't talk to any of them. And now we're together.
Oh, wait. And then I'm forgetting
Forever.
that because they liked her, I was like, oh fuck, I don't want to like be trying to like compete with these two guys. Like I don't even know how to speak English, because that was another thing. I just moved to the U.S.
Oh, and also Amaury asked me out on 9/11, so that was kind of crazy. At that point, after all of that had passed, we were like talking for like a while, like towards the end of the school year, plus summer, plus like the beginning of the year a bit, the next school year. And I was like, what's going on? Like, why doesn't he like just ask me to be his girlfriend? Until finally he did, and it was on 9/11. And then I was like, oh fuck. But it's okay, I guess, because it's nice because some people will remember and they'll greet me and they'll be like, happy anniversary to you and Amaury. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Do people ever greet you about it? No.
When we were dating in high school, you know how there's like periods, and in between those periods, you would move towards your class, and it was like a 5-minute period to change classes. I would always see her before my art class. I would always be late, but the teacher, I don't know why she would let me be late. And when other kids were late, she was like, yeah, but Amaury has an exception. But we never talked about it, and like,
Was it Miss?
Yeah. So I guess she knew that I was talking to my little girlfriend. And she was just like, oh, let on. I mean, we're just doing art here, so who cares?
I think because she knew me. She
Before
definitely
she
knew my
knew you.
dad.
Oh.
Or she liked you.
She liked me.
She's like, you know what? What the hell? Sure. I need to know if you've ever been with anyone before me. This is going to make or break us. And what were the red flags that you saw in them? You're going to tell me all your stories about all these girls before.
Remember this one girl? It was just like, I was just too dumb. I just never made a move. And it never went anywhere.
Did she know you liked her?
Yeah. Because I think looking back, it was like many times where, I don't know, we could have like kissed or something.
What?
Yeah.
Who the hell is this?
After a while, it's like, damn, you're too dumb.
Who the hell is this?
It was,
Who's that? Oh. Okay.
I think it was mutual. But then again, I was just a kid. I didn't know what to do ever. In middle school as well, another girl, she was the one who texted me on Facebook. She was like, "Oh, I think you're pretty cute," which was insane because I was fucking ugly.
We're gonna go back to your Facebook messages, and I'm gonna tell her off. I'm gonna find her, and I'm gonna tell her off.
But I can't remember her name. But I was so surprised because it was the very first time ever that someone has ever told me anything, and I was so ugly in middle school that I was just like, you gotta be you're fucking playing, dude. Like your friend probably got onto your Facebook, which I've done in middle school, and told some random guy, oh yeah, tell him that he's cute. But then one day she texted me and she was like, hey, I'll meet you outside the gymnasium. And
What?
Then we met, and then we talked and we walked around. But I could tell that she had a crush on me. And I was just so dumb, I didn't know what to do.
Wait, how could you tell? Was she like giggling and like?
Yeah, she was just like, so what do you, this and that. And she wanted me to walk around with her.
the fuck?
But it was so fucking embarrassing because like we walked around the whole school, so everyone saw us.
I've literally never.
And then
heard
when
this
I
story
went into
before in my life.
the classroom, everyone was like, "Hey!"
Do you still follow her on Facebook? I'm gonna block her right now.
Hell no.
He's lying. He's still talking to her.
No, because then after a couple like next week, I think I saw her talking to her ex-boyfriend, doing the same thing, walking around and shit, and everyone was like, "Oh, I can't remember her name. This girl's walking around with her ex-boyfriend." Everyone was telling me, and I was like, "What? What?" And then
You were hurt by that one interaction that you had with her. You were like, "Come on, I thought we were something."
yeah. and then I would see the ex-boyfriend look at me so weird, but he was like so short, like he was
Short king.
Yeah, but we just never talked. But I could just tell that he was like, "Oh, you talked with my vieja or something like that."
Yeah, I feel like as a kid, I can acknowledge. I think I started dating at a young age, which now I look back and I'm like, should I even count them? Like, are they even considered real boyfriends? I guess not really. But like, I'll look at like a 13-year-old now that has a boyfriend and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're a baby. But that was literally me also. You know? And I definitely have to attribute it to my environment because I grew up with like 3 older sisters. So by the time that I was growing up, they were already going through like all the hormonal teenager things. And I was watching just all of that unfold. But of course not blaming or shifting the blame to anyone for that, but just like sharing my experience.
You don't want to talk about any of them?
Yeah, we can talk about some. What do you want to know?
I went into detail with mine.
Okay. So sometimes I think about this because when I was in middle school, I was really, really mean. There was like this one guy that I was dating and like he was always so nice to me and stuff. I ended up breaking up with him in the summer and dating his best friend. But the way that I broke up with him was just absolutely like mean. Like it was terrible. Like
why?
I wrote him a whole text message and I said oh, I don't want to be with you anymore because like I forgot what I said, but
you're such a good guy.
The one thing that stuck to me is that I literally put at the end of the message, and by the way, when we kiss, your breath stinks.
He was only 13.
I know. And I feel so bad about it to this day because, like, yeah, he was very nice. And then also when I think about, like, my past relationships, I think about how weird men can be. Granted, Amari's amazing. But I think about, like when I was a freshman and, like, seniors would hit on me. And, of course, at the time, it's like, oh, my God, this is amazing. Like, this older guy is hitting on me. This is so crazy. I'm living my Lana Del Rey dream. But in actuality, it's fucking weird. There was this one time, and I'm honestly so thankful I have a good head on my shoulders because it could have gone any other way. But, like, there was this one time that I was talking to this guy that's a senior. I'm going to censor it. We made arrangements for me to go early to school in the morning so that we can have a coffee date. What are we doing as an 18 and a 14-year-old going on a coffee date? So we went to McDonald's. He bought me a frap, and then he was like, do you want to come back to my house? Okay, we get the frap. We drive to his place, which is like 5 minutes away from the school.
So you drove to his place?
Yeah, he was driving me. And then we just stayed in the car because he was trying to get me to go inside with him to his house, and I was like, I don't want to. I just want to stay here. And I was like, in some way, there was that like little sliver of like innocence and ignorance, because I kept thinking like, I just want to talk to this guy. Like, I just want to no. I just want, like, at the same time I knew what he wanted, but I wasn't down. And at the same time, I just wanted to talk to him and just like giggle gab. So I forced this horny little man boy,
like, come on, let's go to bed.
to sit with me outside of his house while I drank the frappe that he bought me. But that's a power move. Good for me. Like, if I were to go back in time and I saw myself do that, I'd be like, good job.
And tell us about the time that gave you a bucket of flowers.
Yes, it was literally around this time. Like,
and you had a boyfriend.
It was literally around this time 10 years ago now. That sounds crazy to say. I don't think 10 years ago, but I was in high school. Anyway, and like everyone is giving everyone Valentine's Day gifts, and comes up to me in the morning and gives me a huge Valentine's basket with like a teddy bear and everything, and like chocolate.
He's like, I'm gonna bag the baddie with this one.
Yeah. And I was dating someone at the time. So I was like, oh my God. Honestly, looking back, that's very bold of him. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's kind of crazy. He was like,
I got her.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But you also lead her mom.
Yeah, I was kind of, I was messed up growing up.
Wait, no, I think you denied him it.
No, I took it. I brought it in, and then I just told my dad that like my friends got me it. Amaury and I have very different love languages, but in some way we make it work, because relationships are all about compromise. My number one used to be words of affirmation, but I definitely think quality time has become number one. Mm-hmm. And then words of affirmation 2. And then acts of service. What's the other one? Is there only 4? I can't remember. But I just know that I don't, like, physical touch is my last one.
Last one?
Yeah. So when it comes to receiving, it's like all 4 of that in that order.
I love hugging and I love kissing. Number 2. I don't know. I guess act of service. I feel very loved when you cook for me.
Aww.
And when she cooks, I don't know. I feel very loved. Because for me, it's such a big, not a hassle, but it's just like big effort to cook. So I can't imagine cooking as often as you do for someone else.
Wait, we're gonna pause to talk about how all the gushers that I got are all red.
What the fuck?
That's so crazy. This is really rare, actually. And I'm so happy that we're getting this documented. But I guess just in time for Valentine's. It was a learning curve and compromise to make, because physical touch is like literally my last. And it's also the same for him. Like, words of affirmation is not his.
I didn't grow up saying I love you a lot. So it's a little unnatural for me to
It's not necessarily
express.
It's not necessarily I love you. Like, I think my thing is like, I want you to write like a book about how much you love me.
I guess the way that I feel that I'm being loving is when I'm like doing acts of service for you, I guess. Where I don't know, we'll be out and you see a shirt that you really like, and then you're like, oh, this is so nice. And I'm like, well, just buy it. I'll buy it for you.
Say less, baby girl.
Yeah. Just buy it.
And then your wallet's like,
I know. I don't know. It feels good to be able to like be like, oh, okay, well, wow, I wasn't saying it for you to buy me it, but I'll take it definitely.
A
So I don't know. It
provider.
feels, yeah,
A breadwinner.
yeah.
Do you think if like hypothetically something ever happened, you would go down the apps? Are you an apps user?
What does that mean in apps?
Like, would you go on Hinge? Would you go on Bumble? Or would you go on Grindr?
Honestly, I don't know. Honestly, it's so accepted in like every circle. Like, I'm pretty sure all of my friends
Yeah.
have one that I would be like, fuck it, I'll just get on it.
Yeah.
But
and we're not shaming the apps here.
no, but I have heard like people get like so tired of it. My friends talk about like, oh, this is just like, I'm just like, like this is just fucked. Like, you don't get to know anyone. Like, you just like on an algorithm. I would think that like, let's pretend like there was no dating apps, and then you are in 2008, and you hear about like how you can just scroll on people, and people can scroll on you.
Well, they did have like eHarmony. And
Yeah. Well,
Christians mingle.
Okay, what about like the 90s? I mean, if you were in the 90s thinking about that concept, you'd be like, oh, I would find a girlfriend like right away because like it would be so easy, right?
Yeah.
But then you hear all these people being like, this is just fucked. Like no one wants to get to know you. Like,
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how we've evolved when it comes to like meeting people and dating. I think I would just like a more organic way of meeting people.
yeah, I think I would.
Which
go
is
to
basically
bars.
like what?
I think I would go to bars.
Really?
I mean, I already go to bars. Is that what you mean with organically?
No, not really. I think I would want to meet like someone through a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even see myself like hitting up people in bars. I feel like if I was single and I were to go to bars with friends, that's like only for friends. Like I'm not trying to like.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because everyone's like drunk and it'll be sloppy.
Yeah.
Everything about it is sloppy.
I still like the organic way, which is basically telling someone that you're gonna help them hook you up with your friend, but then you end up having feelings for them. Oh, also, Mari and I are in a band together. I talked about my band with Mason in the last episode, but I'm also in another band with Amari.
It's a band that I put together to play some songs that I've been writing. It's feeling better and better. So I'm excited.
We're going to have our first show this year.
This year for sure.
Amari calls me a servant. Servant.
Uh-huh.
Servant.
That's crazy. No.
When you're good at all things.
Savant. Servant. Because she plays drums.
I just started learning
Really
how to play
easily.
drums.
Yeah. You know how to... You picked it up so easily. And then she was holding it with traditional grip. Which
That's
is
what
like...
it's called?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Which is like a jazz drummer thing. So I was like, why the hell? Where did you see this? Like, who? Like, I got suspicious. I was like, who you been... Are you hanging out with some, like, Bushwick drummer? You never know with those Bushwickers.
No, I'm just musically inclined. So if you want to see me hold the drumsticks like a servant, like a traditional servant,
Savant.
then please come to our show. But I actually play keys. Sorry. I guess to finish up, I have some quick speed round questions that will either make or break my relationship with Amari.
No way.
Yes. We're testing him here live.
If it's about dates, I'm terrible.
You have to answer these questions in like less than 3 seconds.
Great.
If you go more than 3 seconds, I'm leaving and I'm stopping my podcast forever. Actually, you're leaving and I'm going to continue and talk with the podcast. But remember, you have 3 seconds to answer. Also, if I don't like the answer, then you're out. What's my weirdest habit that annoys you?
The weirdest habit that annoys me is that you stim songs over and over and over so loud, and it annoys me because sometimes I just want to be in silence.
I just love a good song. If I love a good song, then I'm going to keep playing it all day. I don't give a fuck.
I would understand 2 to 3 times. No, I would understand 2 to 3 times, but then like 5, 6.
Do you guys want to know some crazy fact?
I can't do that.
Crazy fact about me is the minute I step out of my apartment and start walking, I'll play music, and I can play the same song all the way going to work and then coming back all the way coming back home.
I don't believe
And I've
it.
done that so many times.
No, I didn't know
And
this.
I don't care.
This is insane. This is insane behavior. This is insane. Get the asylum. No.
They, them, energy. They, them, energy. What's one thing I always forget to do?
You always forget to... Well, give me 1 second. I know this. But give me just 1 second. Like, there are several things that you always forget. You always forget to bring your keys.
Sometimes intentional, though.
That's crazy.
It's just because I'm like, I know it's so dumb. And it's like, but it's just one less thing in my bag that I don't have to like jingle jangle look around for.
No.
And then I'll be like, well, Amaury will be home. So
And I always bring my keys.
I know he
and
loves
when
to bring his keys.
And when I, like, let's pretend I need to be somewhere. And then I have to stay there for longer. And then you're stuck out of the house.
Yeah, that's happened before.
No.
What's the worst meal I've ever cooked or attempted to cook?
I have one very clearly. It was a cabbage dumpling-ish.
Yeah, that was really bad.
I'm sorry.
And no one ate it. And
Wait,
I tried.
no one? Who else?
It was just me and you.
Yeah,
but
it
like,
was me and you.
I have tried to force myself to eat it, and I couldn't.
I couldn't either. I was like, this is really bad.
Into those damn TikTok recipes. Ban
It
TikTok.
was so sweaty.
Yeah, it was like really nasty and soggy.
Ugh.
And I think I put like tofu filling, and it was just like weird and crumbly, and like
It was bad.
it was disgusting actually.
But you make really yummy things though.
Thank you.
Like the breaded chicken is really good.
Ooh, yeah. I like to make chicken breast with panko fried, and then I put marinara and mozzarella.
And also udon with the thick saucy.
Oh, creamy udon with
Yeah.
spicy roe. Okay, what's my biggest pet peeve?
Your biggest pet peeve is when people are changing things last minute on you.
Yeah. What's my biggest irrational fear?
Irrational fear is well, it's not completely irrational. Having into consideration that you've been to the doctor a lot is getting like a really bad sickness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think health is like a big thing that's always looming over me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a, what's the word?
Cloud.
No. Oh my God, that's one thing I hate that Amaury does. when I can't remember the name of something or like the word to something, and then he's just starting to name all types of nouns and adjectives. I'll be like, what's that thing that we saw? And what's it called? And then he's like, cloud, chair, bottle. And I'm like, no. How do I like my eggs cooked? I don't think you know this, just because I'm always cooking. But let's see.
Cooked
This could be the
would
thing that
be,
makes you leave.
Well, you like boiled egg,
I do. I love boiled eggs.
and you like, I guess, medium.
Oh my God, you know. And then last one, movie night or game night?
Movie night.
Ooh, yep, that's right.
Well, it depends with who.
What do you mean?
Like, if it was with a bunch of friends, you would prefer movie night?
If it was with a bunch of friends, I would prefer game night, honestly.
Yeah, game night is fun.
And lately, Amar and I have been gaming a lot. We've been playing a lot of Fortnite.
Yeah, we play Fortnite.
So if you play Fortnite, you should play with us. Only if you're sweaty, though. We don't take any
Yeah, we don't take any
amateurs.
dry
None of that amateur shit.
Yeah, some noob ass shit. Only sweaty for us.
Yeah. But because of that, all of our friends are so sweaty and we play every night that I haven't been able to watch a movie. Which I'm really sad because I used to watch movies a lot. But
how many did you watch last year?
I watched like 150 plus
That's
last
crazy.
year.
No way.
It was so crazy because like earlier in the year I also worked from home, so I was able to down like 2 movies in one day,
That's
and like
crazy.
even sometimes want to watch a 3rd movie. So
All right.
like all good things must come to an end,
Aw.
including this
was
episode.
So nice.
Thank you so
I had
much for coming.
fun. Can I come again?
Sure.
I really want to come again and talk more about our lives.
He wants to mansplain. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope I see you all again next week. And again, stay safe wherever you are. And take care always.
Well, wait, hold on. What does it mean? So like this is one of the things that is similar to like when you say thank you when you go out of the store. Like when you just looked at the store and then you leave and you're like, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for spending time. Like, if
But
you
like-
made it this far, damn.
But let's say I didn't talk to the people in the store.
Babe, people's time are precious. Time is money.
Yeah, you're totally right. But I didn't talk to these people. I just went inside and looked around. They didn't have a restroom, so I'm leaving. So I'm like, thank you.
So what are you trying to say? You don't want me to say goodbye to them?
No, not you specifically, but it's just like in general.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's always weird with that. And sometimes when I'm leaving the shop, I'm like, why did I say thank you?
Yeah.
Like, and why did they say thank you?
I know. What they sometimes say thank you first. So then you're like, oh, thank you, whatever. But like, we don't have to do this.
Oh my God, there was this one time that I went out drinking with my friends, got so super, super drunk, was hungover as fuck the next day, but still managed to like go to a Pilates class and run some errands. And I was at the post office and I was like dropping off the package that I had to ship out. And as I was leaving, it's like 10:30 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, have a good night. And then it was one of those buildings where the door you have to buzz and wait for it to open.
So you're like, do.
I'm like, yeah, it was so awkward because like he was still there and I was like waiting for the door to open. So I was like, have a good night.